Okay, okay. My bad, people. Trying to do things, okay. So, anyway, welcome to Thursday's tier list. Okay, this is a glorified tier list this Thursday. This is the no joke tier list. Because this is going to be the longest tier list I have ever done and tried to accomplish. I have every Saturday morning cartoon. Now, touching on Saturday morning cartoons for you guys that weren't of the generations that grew up through the 80s and the 90s. Um, Before we had cable. People had cable, and if you had cable, you was able to get the Disney Channel and Nickelodeon. Before Nickelodeon was Nickelodeon, it was some other channel. It was called Spin Wheel or something like that. Uh, it was still interesting little show, but it wasn't that good. Then we ended up with Nickelodeon and Nick at Night, and now there's no Nick at Night. There's just Nickelodeon. Then Nickelodeon made Adult Swim and so forth. Disney Channel had their stuff, but Disney Channel was totally different back then. I remember there was a Winnie the Pooh show where people wore costumes, dressed up like Winnie the Pooh characters. You know, stuff kids would watch. There was a lot of shows like that back in the 80s and stuff where people would dress up like characters and they'd be in costumes and stuff, you know. Like as if you were on watching Disneyland characters walk around like in Disneyland. Anyway, but Saturday morning cartoons was a special thing for everybody back then. Because you know how Cartoon Network is, they just play cartoons all day long. And Cartoon Network came about like in the 90s, you know. But before that, Saturday morning cartoons was the only thing that would probably, if it was still around, would compete with Cartoon Network. Because we had not just one cartoon channel or channel that had Saturday morning cartoons, we had three: ABC, NBC, and CBS. And what they did was they would all have cartoons. The way I remember it was you get up early in the morning. You know, Saturday morning was just the laziest day to just sit there and watch cartoons. But you would get up at like 5 in the morning, and by 5 in the afternoon, the cartoons are done. So you sat there all day watching cartoons. And then afterwards, you go outside and just do stupid stuff. You know, some people would get outside when their cartoon shows were over that they liked the most. But sometimes you would like a show on one channel and you had to find it on the other channel. And then sometimes that show might be gone and they replace it with another cartoon show you don't like. So then you go outside. So but yeah, every channel, literally ABC, CBS, NBC, from 5 o'clock in the morning to 5 in the afternoon, cartoons. And sometimes it would be Sunday, but most of the time they would play church shows on Sunday. And then at the end of the church shows, there would be cartoons. And so that's what happened. But mostly that's why everyone says Saturday morning cartoons for y'all that never was around then. That's why they say Saturday morning cartoons because that was a day. Like, not just a day for kids to watch cartoons. It was like the day for advertisers to advertise the new toys of every cartoon. It was the way to market all kinds of food products like cereal and stuff to kids. It was also the time to oh, it was also the time to sit back with your buddies and hang out and go, hey, you know, I like this cartoon or whatever. You know, it was just Saturday morning. But here we go. All right, we got a whole bunch. We got everything. And so the tier list goes like this today. Best of the best. You know, are you the best of the best? I'm the best of the best. We got awesome. We got great. We got good. We got okay. And I never seen it before in my life. I don't know why it's up here. I've never seen it. So that's the tier list. That's the way each roll is going today. There's no terrible, horrible, and all that stuff I do. So we're starting with the 13th Ghost of Scooby Doo. Most people don't really like this cartoon, but I used to watch it a lot, and I like Vincent Price in it. The whole ghost. To me, it made more sense compared to a regular Scooby Doo show where there are people in costumes and the ghost ain't really real. And you know, I would have got away with it if it wasn't for them meddling kids bullshit or stuff. and but anyway, either way, the 13 Ghosts of Scooby Doo was about real ghosts coming around and hunting them down with this kid named Shazam, I think, or Wham Zam, or Wham somebody, and Strappy Doo. Which I don't know why people hate Strappy Doo nowadays. I really don't. Dude, Strappy Doo was like a big thing in the '80s. He was like, um, man, he was Strappy Doo. He was Scooby Doo and Strappy Doo, and he even had an intro where he pulls Strappy with him, and then later on he became 13th Ghost. And then when they made the second live action movie, he's the enemy, like they hate Strappy Doo. When did that happen? Why did it happen off screen of any Scooby Doo ever? So it's like I didn't get that. And then by now, if you went whatever years, 20, 30, 40 years, however many years from Strappy Doo's original creation, wouldn't Strappy Doo be the size of Scooby Doo now? He wouldn't still be a puppy, and you can't call him a midget. It's so stupid. But anyway, this show is good, and not just good. I think it's pretty great. I liked it, the music and stuff. You took away the other people in the Scooby gang, so all you had was Daphne, really. You had Daphne, Scooby, Shaggy, and Strappy, and Shazam, I can't remember the kid's name. And you had Vincent Price. So it was actually a pretty good Scooby Doo to me. That's to me was one of the best. A lot of people hate it, so I say it's great. His pup named Scooby Doo was all right. At this point, when they made a pup named Scooby Doo, you had oh my God, Flintstone kids. You had like everyone was turned into a kid pretty much. So Scooby Doo was a kid. Yogi Bear was a kid. I remember there was some kind of scratch off toy thing I wanted with Yogi Bear. It's so stupid thinking about it now. But yeah, there's all this stuff. But yeah, they turned all the original Hanna Barbera and stuff into little kids. And so yeah, Scrappy Doo. That's also the time I think Muppet Babies came out. So anyway, a pup named Scooby Doo. I can't really tell you how I feel about it because I used to watch it, but it was like a lot of Scooby Doo would be like filler for me because it would play the same Scooby Doo's over and over again. There'd be so many different Scooby Doo stuff. And the funny thing is, I watched old enough to remember the other shows that were just like Scooby Doo. Like Jabberjaw, and he had a team, and they solved mysteries. And then you had the Doom Buggy thing, where the Doom Buggy would solve mysteries and stuff. And there were so many of them. But for some reason, Scooby Doo's here. Goober and the Ghost Chasers. That was another one that was exactly like Scooby Doo. Except it was a gray dog. There's so many of them. And but I have no idea why Scooby Doo lasts so long. But I'll say a pup named Scooby Doo was okay. I don't really remember it to give you a certain episode. With the 13 Ghosts of Scooby Doo, I remember the chest, the ghosts coming out. I remember they were trying to get them all back. There was 13 of them. I remember that Vincent Price was more like a wizard kind of guy, or a sorceress, I guess you would say, or sorcerer. Um, I remember so much more about that one than the pup named Scooby Doo. And so this cartoon here, um, it's about that Babar, that elephant thing. I think I can barely see this title. What the hell? No, wait, it says Boo and the whatever crap. I've never seen this cartoon. I don't know. Never seen that one. Teddy Ruxpin. I seen bits and pieces of it when I was a kid. I remember my grandma trying to have one for me or whatever. It was after the freaking Teddy Ruxpin's fame, because it's like it was certain toys like, oh my god. Only thing I really did was G.I. Joe's and the Ninja Turtles later. Those are like my top favorite stuff. Um, but yeah, Teddy Ruxpin, I didn't really see too much of the cartoon. Oh, Care Bear phase. There was a Care Bear phase. There was a Garbage Kids. Oh, I want to say Garbage Pail Kids, but I had Garbage Pail Kids. They had a whole bunch of stickers. I put them on my wall and everything like that. But everyone had the Cabbage Patch Kids. That's what you call them. And they were everywhere. People were obsessed with them. And I thought these things looked stupid. But then when I saw Garbage Pail Kids, I'm like, yeah. But then the movie was messed up. And it changed everything. But they never had a cartoon of the Garbage Pail Kids. At least not to my knowledge. So Teddy Ruxpin I've never really seen, but I do remember seeing clips of it, and maybe it was on another channel that came on while I was watching another show at that time, but I've never seen Teddy Ruxpin. This is Brave Star. No, no, no. Space Rangers or whatever. Or what the hell is this? I can't tell if it's Ranger or something. Whatever it is, I don't think I've really seen it. I don't think I really paid attention to it before. Hmm. I don't know. I'll say it's the. I'm thinking it's the. Because these titles are so dang small, and I can't blow it up and then put it back down. So, what the hell is this saying? Ranger something. Blurry. I have no idea. I'm not gonna try to read a blurry thing. Anyway, I didn't watch it. So, Gummy Bears. Now, Gummy Bears wasn't really a Saturday morning cartoon over here in this neck of the woods. Maybe on the other East Coast or whatever. And that's the difference too. When we're doing this tier list, that you gotta understand that some shows were Saturday morning that was equally spread throughout the country, but then some were just like East Coast cartoons. You can only see it on the East Coast, or you only see it on the West Coast. And then on top of that, it's the channel thing. Like I said, you had to figure out what channels it was. But a list tier list literally has a little bit of '90s and a little bit of '70s stuff in there, as well as '80s. But this was more of a afternoon special thing. Disney afternoons, Ducktales, Darkwing, Tailspin, Gummy Bears, Gargoyles. Those would come on the weekdays around here. So, um, how I feel about the Gummy Bears, I know this crap a lot. To me, they're alcoholic bears that bounce around. I have no idea why they're alcoholic bears, um, but they are. And if I wanted to sit back and watch a cartoon, I wouldn't go directly to Gummy Bears. So Gummy Bears are going okay. It's okay. I mean, it's something you could watch it and be like, okay, this is cool. The Adventure of the Little Koala. Never seen it. Uh, Elf Tales and Elf. Either both are legendary because Alf, I never could pronounce it right. Alf was a big character back then. And his TV show was a great show. I loved watching the live action show. I tried to explain it to someone younger recently over the years, and they were like, "Well, what was he a puppet? Why was he?" I said, "He's an alien, but he's a puppet." I said, "He's an alien." He was like, "They used a puppet to be an alien. He wasn't supposed to be. You wasn't supposed to think of him as a puppet. You supposed to think of him as an alien." And they didn't understand that crap. They just kept trying to say he's a puppet. But so was Yoda back then. And pretty much everything that came out from George Lucas or Jim Henson or whatever were puppets. And we all know them iconically as whatever they're supposed to be. But this guy couldn't get over the fact that Alf looked like a puppet and came from Melmac, and he's not an alien to them. He's just a puppet. So I'll say both these Elf Tales and Alf, but this one's the one I watched the most. This one I'm shaking around when I was younger. So this one was fun. It was kind of fun. Plus, they made him tall. That's the thing I thought about the cartoon wasn't he wasn't really tall. It's the fact that he had legs. Because like we're talking, he's a puppet in the show, so you never really saw his legs except for the last episode. And I remember that one well because Portland wrestling was still around, and I was like excited to watch Portland wrestling. Like Roddy Piper or something was going to be on there, and somebody else. Um, and I remember like it was a big thing, and like the cops came and all this, and there was like a helicopter light shining down on Alf, and that's where you see his whole legs and his body. They had other stuff where you saw him walking and stuff, and probably a midget in a suit, or a little person, you know. Anyway, Alvin and the Chickmunks was the bee's knees. They might have came on the weekends, but they was on the weekdays as well. That's way before the Disney afternoon thing, which was a '90s thing. That's why I say Gummy Bears doesn't make sense in this list really, because it's like a '90s thing. But '80s, yes. Alvin and the Chickmunks, best of the best. It's the best of the best of stuff. Um, Around the World with Willie Frog. Never seen it. Never seen it. Never heard of it. This looks 70s to me. Um, let's see. Astro Boy. Astro Boy. I don't remember it on the weekends at all. I don't even think that it really was. Like I said, it's probably East Coast. It was on during the weekends, but I've never seen it. So, boom, never seen it. This Elephant Babar. I'll say it's okay. Banana Man. I remember that one. So there's certain ones I'm gonna be like, I remember that one. I used to watch it. But Banana Man, yes, it was actually Banana Man's a British cartoon, and it's like Danger Mouse and all that stuff. But I remember it well, so I'm not gonna say it's awesome. I'll say it's good though. So it's good because I remember watching Banana Man. Beetlejuice the cartoon, the movie and the cartoon itself was good. The movie's great, damn great, damn near. I don't know. I never seen a new one because to me I'm so tired of remakes. Let's leave it the way it is. So one of these days you're gonna make a remake of something, and everybody's gonna hate it. It's gonna be something that everyone loves, and they're gonna hate it. They already did it with Star Wars, kinda, because they killed off like shit all the main characters, never united them, and he had one chance because now Carrie Fisher's dead. And it's like you messed it. You're so tired of the remakes. You know, but it's gonna be one movie, someone everyone loves. I don't care, every race or whatever. It's gonna be one movie, and they're gonna be like, oh, whatever. They're gonna go against Hollywood. You know, we'll kill you, you kill off our character. But yeah, this new Beetlejuice, I haven't seen it, but this cartoon was iconic. I used to watch it, yes, on Saturdays. Beetlejuice would come on all the time. So Beetlejuice was a great cartoon. Um, Bella and Bella and some crap. Oh, Stallion. Never seen this. Bella and the Stallion. What the hell is that? Anyway, I hear people talk about this crap all the time on the internet now. The Berenstein Bears. And I have to be honest with you guys, I might have the Mandela effect because it says Berenstein instead of Berenstein. So yeah, because I don't remember that title looking that long either. So yeah, you have to complain about that large collider in Europe for messing up the time frame and dimensional warp zones. But anyway, it's okay. So um, Beverly Hills something teens. Everything too was about Beverly Hills in the 80s. Oh my God, Beverly Hills this, Beverly Hills that. If they weren't talking about Beverly Hills in movies and TV shows, they were talking about New York, and it would be all over the place. It'd be businesses in New York and all this stuff, and it'd be Beverly Hills, this and that. You know, they always brainwash you with them two places, and probably now it's a culture shock because both of them are crap holes now. Um, I do not know this, so I'm not even a fake like I do. I don't. But I do know the next one. Bigfoot Monster Machines. This is a good cartoon. It's an awesome cartoon. Yeah, I'll say it's awesome. Because, freaking Bigfoot, man. The Bionic 6 is the next one. He just, that one in the wrestling cartoon, it's probably down here somewhere. The one where they made all the professional wrestlers a cartoon character, that was pretty good. Um, Bionic 6 is the Bionic Man. It was like a team. It's kind of where Knight Rider went. If you watch this channel, my YouTube channel, you see me talk about Knight Rider, Team Knight Rider, and there's a whole team of guys and girls, and they have these cars that could talk like Knight Rider cars, and they got overlooked after the show went on. This had one season, pissed me off. I really liked it because it was all, I think it was all Fords of that year. I liked that show a lot, and they got rid of it. So Bionic Six is like a cartoon version of Bionic Man, really, and so there's a whole bunch of Bionic people. It's an alright show. I'll say it was pretty good. Um, the Biscuits is like, I heard people refer to this cartoon, and when I say I hear people, it's mostly people talking about animation. I like animation. I do animation. I've been kind of lazy on my own animation projects, um, but other animators I heard them talk about this cartoon. and stuff. And they say it's like Smurfs, but it's completely not like Smurfs. It's just if I was to compare it to a cartoon, it would be the gummy bears, the little bits or whatever, or the biscuits or whatever, the crap. There, there's so many little things and stupid craps back then. But anyway, these biscuit things are little dog knights or whatever that guard a castle. It's so retarded. And I think it's mostly to get girls and guys to be friends. Oh, I like it too. I like it too. It's okay. Now, this Black Star, I do remember it because of the animation style. I didn't watch it a lot. I watched like a little bit of it, but it wasn't something that stuck out. So I'm just gonna say it was okay. It didn't stick out to me. I'm not really impressed by it. Braining Games. I think that was not a show of its own. I think it was a show that was in between, like in the middle of a show. Flip to that show real quick. Go, oh, you get the Brain Games. I do remember it a little bit. Maybe Electric Company, which is a show back then. They had the Brain Games. I don't know. I can't remember. But I remember it. I don't know how I'd put it on the list. Um, Damn, I remember it, but I don't remember. I don't think I even should have it on here. To be honest with you, I'll put it down that I've never seen, even though I've seen it. I just think that if I remember right, if memory doesn't fail me, it was a side show or a segment in a show that would come on and be like, okay, now it's brain game time or something. Something like that. Now let's get to Braveheart or Brave Star. I mean, Braveheart, Brave Star. Okay, cowboy, native cowboy, super futuristic dude. This show would come on, and I did watch it here and there. Um, was I a big fan? No, but it would be something I'd watch if there wasn't nothing on. And other cartoons would be like, I don't know, like lame around that hour slot or that 30-minute slot. That's the one thing about Saturday morning cartoons that was cool is the fact that they were 30 minutes. So you could watch one and another 30 minutes, another cartoon coming just back to back every 30 minutes. And so, but I remember this cartoon and I was like, okay. Plus I think his horse talked and walked on two legs. I can't remember, or it was a robot horse. So long ago. But the animation drawings were actually pretty decent. I'm gonna say it's good. Braveheart was good, but it wasn't excellent. Excellent. Bugs Bunny and Tweety show, awesome. Don't really like Tweety. The Bugs Bunny and the Roadrunner show, pretty positive. A little awesome. I like Looney Tunes. That's a big bias right there. I don't know. I would watch the hell out of that. So, what the hell was this? The California Raisin Show. Oh yeah, I forgot about these guys. They were good. Except for this was not claymation. California Raisins were claymation. Good commercials. Actually filmed and created in Portland, Oregon. Uh, Not too, just like a couple years ago, I lived right next to where the old claymation studio was. It's gone now. They made stuff like Avoid the Noid, uh, California Raisins. Um, there's a Mark Twain movie in claymation. If you've never seen it, look it up. And I used to watch that thing all the time. It's kind of like a little bit of philosophy with Mark Twain in that thing. Um, but it was pretty good, and I used to watch it a lot. It was great, and actually got a big award for that claymation studio. Now there's like, I looked it up because Box Trolls was created here in Portland in a new claymation studio. And just like, I don't know, what was it, like a year or two ago, somebody was tripping in there. Where they weren't, they're like, Shelby, hey, you should go and put your scripts in this claymation studio. I'm like, why? And they're like, they're gonna make any movie out of claymation if you give them a script. And just they're asking everybody to do it. And I thought about it, and I was like, but at the time I had wrote a detective novel thing. My work is all over the place. You'll see stuff like that start to come out soon because I'm doing things. But yeah, and I was like, why? But I looked it up, and they created Box Trolls. So I mean, there's like how can I say, the descendants of the original claymation studios from the 80s. But this California Raisin show was animated and pretty lame. I mean, it was alright. It was a California Raisin was a big thing, but the cartoon was pretty lame. So it's okay. It's not. I mean, it's not super. It's not way up here. It's okay. Camp Candy was about John Candy, one of these funniest comedians back then. And I liked the hell out of this show. I used to watch it all the time, even though I have no idea um, what a lot of the topics was. It was about kids, and he would help them, and it was his camp, and nothing really crazy happened. It was just like him being like a mentor all the time to these kids. And it's a show that should be around because people talk about men uh, being bad and all this crap I hear all the time. I'm so tired of, exhausted of hearing this shit. Stupid language again. But we need something like that again, like Camp Candy, where the guys run around motivating kids and making them feel happy to be around. And that's what that show was about. Besides the fact that it was about a comedian who was good and has passed. So, ugh, hiccups. I think it was a great show. Um, Captain Who? Hancock or Herrick? What the hell? Captain. I have no idea what this cartoon is. I've never heard of this nonsense. Okay, Captain and the Game Masters. My dang. I was obsessed with this show. Nintendo came out in '85, and I was obsessed with video games, and I still am to this day with my old age, and it makes no damn sense. Um, yeah, I was like, I don't know, 8 or 9 when Super Nintendo, when Nintendo came out or whatever. I don't know. It's been so long ago. Every time I think I know what age I wasn't that age. It's crazy. The Care Bears were, I'll tell you, I never watched the cartoon really. I would like, I don't know nothing about the cartoon itself. I mean, it would come on, and the thing I know, and I used to have this joke when I was younger, and I still remember it, and I used to confuse other kids with it because I'd be like, the Care Bears live in the clouds. My Little Pony lives in the clouds. Rainbow Bright lives in the clouds. And the Care Bear cousins live in the clouds. And I used to talk about it because all these stupid characters in cartoons live in the clouds, above the clouds. And I can't remember exactly how I ended the joke, but it would always trip me out because how people would think about it and go, they do. And then in my mind, even back then, because now everyone does crossover. There's crossover movies, there's crossover shows, there's crossover musicians, and everything. And but back then, I was thinking, now how come the My Little Ponies never met the Care Bears, and how come Rainbow Bright doesn't talk to, you know what I mean? It was like all this cloud thing. Um, but yeah, the movie though, I have to say, the second one, whatever the one is where the dude's a fox or he's evil, he turns, those movies were pretty good to me. If you watch what's his name, the Nostalgia Critic, he talks crap about the Care Bear movies. He makes it, well, you know, he makes it sound a little stupid. But back then they were pretty good, and the animation is not bad at all. I mean, they drew the hell out the Care Bears movie, the second one at least. I don't really remember the first one, but I remember the second one where there's the boy and he's evil, and he's like he turns into a fox, and it's like it's for a kids cartoon. It's pretty deep, and it was pretty good. But this Care Bear thing, I never really watched the cartoon, so the Saturday morning cartoon anyway. Um, what's this thing? What is this? Stop it. What is it? Sony Story Break? Story Break. I don't know what Story Break is. I have no idea. So I've never seen it. Century is good. They actually recently copied him or copied this cartoon on Rick and Morty, and it's kind of funny. Actually copied it a couple times over and other stuff like the Venture Brothers and things. But it's actually a good cartoon. It's like a wannabe G.I. Joe's in a way. The toys would fall apart, you could put them together. It's kind of cool. Uh, GoBots. I did not watch GoBots. I was a Transformer here and there, but people talk about GoBots, and I never really watched it at all. Um, yeah, I can't even tell you if it was okay. I'll be honest with you, but I'll say it is. I've never really paid attention to the show. I mean, there was commercials back in the day, but it wasn't something I was into. Charlie Brown would come out all the time. Everyone knows Charlie Brown. It's pretty lame to me now. But he goes grew up. Who cares? But yeah, the Snoopy show. So I mean, I have to say it's good. Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers is pretty good. There's some episodes that are brainwashed in my head. Mostly the one where everyone was in the Coca-Cola cult or whatever it was. It was a cult of people worshiping soda. And they'd be like, come along, you belong, feel the fizz, a Coca-Cola. That episode's been stuck in my head for like 30 years. It's just a cartoon. And I have no idea why, but every now and then I'll be like, come along, you belong, feel the fizz, a Coca-Cola. I have no idea why. But Rescue Rangers is awesome. It was awesome. Chuck Norris and Karate Kids and Kudu. I have no idea what that says. Anyway, Chuck Norris I've never seen. Never seen a Chuck Norris cartoon. I don't know where it came from. Cartoon strips or comic strips or whatever. Never seen it. I have no idea. Uh, see. What in the hell? Whatever this is, just by looking at it, because usually I can just look at the cover and tell you I've seen it. I don't know what this is. Ed, Ed something, Ed Grimley. Oh, Ed Grimley. Okay, never mind, I do know this. And then, anyway, so yeah, it's okay. If you don't know, that's the was a Martin Short thing. Um, he was a funny guy. It's a character of Martin Short. Anyway, he's funny. He's like, it's an '80s thing. I don't want to give you guys some weird culture shock, and you're like, what the hell is he doing? Why is he acting like this? Oh, he's acting like a character from the '80s. Makes me feel old as hell. So anyway, this show Cops was like, so a big thing in the '80s was Police Academy. There's so many Police Academy movies, and they were funny. And there was like cops on top of cops on top of cops in that movies, but they'd be funny. And we got some of the best actors and comedians from that movie series. That sad that some of them passed, and it's great that some of them careers went on to make other things that we enjoy. But this show Cops now was supposed to be like these cops are super team, and once again it's kind of like a G.I. Joe thing, and they go out and stuff. And I don't remember how long it lasted, but I did watch it a lot. But I'll say it wasn't. I'll say it was good. It wasn't super great, but it was something that when it came on, I would watch it. And it's like I remember just one captain in that thing that was pretty good. It wasn't really funny. It was more like not a funny cartoon, more of a serious cartoon. So usually, you put categories in the cartoons. So you can say girl cartoons where they're like, and now people say girls don't have role models. That's not true. In the '80s, they had Jim. That cartoon would come on right after G.I. Joe's, or actually it would come on before G.I. Joe's, and I would watch it like come on every day. And I wasn't really watching it, but the intro is the main thing I would watch of that damn thing. You know, because when it came on, I was like, okay, G.I. Joe's about to come on. And it'd be like, Jim's a music fantasia, outrageous. Jim is my name, no one else is the same. Oh, there it is right there. But now that I know they made a live action version of it. They made a live action version of it. But it would come on. And it was about a girl that was trying to make it in the business. You know what, now that I think about it, it was like Hannah Montana back then. And she was trying to be a businesswoman and a musician. Hannah Montana stole that from Jim. But anyway, I said there was cute fuzzy cartoons for like little tiny kids that were kind of tiny but trying to get bigger. There were girly cartoons that were just girly. There were G.I. Joe like soldier warrior cartoons. Then there was corny cartoons. There's cartoons they make up to try to be funny and to be interesting for some reason. And then there was just like, let's put this together and see if people like your cartoons. I don't know. There's so many different types. Now you only got certain types. I don't even want to categorize that. But this one here, I have no idea what happened to this duck, man. But Count Duckula was my thing. And I'll say Count Duckula was one of the best of the best. Because I used to like the theme song and everything. And he's the original Green Duck before Plucky Duck and Tiny Toons. So, yeah. And with ducks being said, the Daffy and Speedy show. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. This Daffy Duck's awesome. And another one, Danger Mouse. Danger Mouse was a great show. I'm gonna say it's a great show. It was the one thing I didn't understand because back then there's a difference between British and American. But Danger Mouse is kind of like giving you a quick understanding of British culture because he lived in a British mailbox, and there were certain things he did. And I like them when the bombs blow off, and there'd always be this weird smoke thing going around, and they'd be sitting there, and next thing you know, they're all damaged, or they're standing there, and it doesn't make too much sense. But it was a cartoon. It was a good cartoon. Um, so that would be, I guess you would say, Danger Mouse was like an action superhero cartoon. Um, oh wow, that one I really don't know, 'cause I can't even see it. It's so tiny. Um, David, David David the Gnome. Yes, but David the Gnome, I think it is. David the Gnome came on Nickelodeon. I don't remember it on the weekend. Um, but it was a good little cartoon. I'd watch it here and there because I couldn't figure out the difference at the time between a gnome and a brownie because that's what we got from Willow was brownies, the little tiny things. Some tiny human things doesn't make sense. I love Gulliver's Travel though. But David the Gnome, I would watch it and then I would try to figure out if what size he was because he'll end up riding like a squirrel or something, and the next thing you know, he's taller than a strawberry or some crap in it. I never could figure out what size he was, so I'll say it's okay. So, um, Defenders of Earth, Flash Gordon. Uh, Flash is awesome. You know, Flash Gordon is awesome. Dennis the Menace, another. I used to love this cartoon, and it didn't just come on Saturdays; it would come on all weekend. I mean, all week. I mean, and yeah, it was really great. Actually, we're in the section where I can name off damn near all tell you where all these ones are going. So this the Mist was the best of the best back then. Uh, Pretty great cartoon. Um, Always getting the stuff. None of the original voice actors from the black and white show or anything like that. It was his own thing. It's funny, and the drawings were okay. Denver the Last Dinosaur. I sweated this cartoon, as they say. Uh, because it was cool, man. It doesn't make any damn sense nowadays. A lot of these don't make any damn sense. A lot of this tier list doesn't make any sense. But Denver the Last Dinosaur was a fun show. The last dinosaur, they found him in California somewhere. Now that I think about it, Encino Man copied Denver the Last Dinosaur because they find him in some kind of egg or something that hatches, and he's in California, and he's in someone's pool or some crap, I think, just like the Encino Man. And then he starts becoming a guitar. He plays guitar. He's partying and wearing sunglasses and everything. Yes, Encino Man copied Denver the Last Dinosaur. At the time back then, this was the best of the best of dinosaur fun cartoons, fun dinosaur cartoons. Uh, this one, Dino or whatever the crap this is, I did not remember it. It looks stupid. It looks like baby cartoon. So that's what I'm saying. The little fuzzy, cute kitty, half kitty, grown, getting bigger kid cartoons. Dino Riders, awesome. It didn't last long though. It had like I had a VHS tape back then, which is now you guys would probably call them DVDs, because it was our versions of DVDs before they were created, before DVDs were created. We had big cassette tapes. And, yo, I owned Dino Riders. And, I think it was like only like 3, 4 episodes. But the toys was cool. I had the, what do you call it? Triceratops with the gun pack on there with the missile launcher. That thing was cool, man. I don't know what happened to it, but it's great. It's owned by a certain company now, and what puzzles me is that company owns certain properties you guys know of, and so I'm wondering why they haven't tried to make anything new over the past 30-something years. It's also the same thing with Dino Saucers, which is another one that I say is the best of the best, because I used to love that shit. And I'm telling you, Dino Saucers is in a way is the good at advertising itself, not so good at making the show. I love the show. I used to watch it. It's a little silly. At the same time, it looks like it could be this big, epic battle. Why does it look like that? Because of the intro. One thing about 80s cartoons, they'd make certain intros. Excuse me. Let me drink something here. They'd make certain intros. And, man, the intros would be so cool that you'd be like, oh my god, I gotta watch this. That's why people talk about Saturday Morning Cartoon. But man, Dino Saucers would come on and be like, Dino Saucers. You know, they talk. First, they tell you the story about the kids and how they found these rings, and then you know they had these jackets. They all had these jackets and stuff, and these aliens. It's kind of like a mix between uh, Transformers and Captain Planet. And the reason why I say that is because there's two dinosaur people, the predator type ones with the T-Rex, which is the leader, and the good ones that they were called Dinosaurs. The other ones were called Pterodons or something like that. I can't remember. Anyway, they came to Earth, they crashed to Earth, just like the Transformers did. But in the part where they're like Captain Planet, because they end up getting these rings, and they go like this with the rings and let the dinosaurs know that they needed help. But instead of trying to make them come out of the ring like Captain Planet, they would just come when they knew the rings were doing anything. And so, anyway, the intro alone would make you want to watch it. To be honest, and it's just really good. I'm pretty positive if you were to buy the rights from the owner of that company, they're gonna want a lot of money because it was pretty popular. Pretty freaking popular. Um, let's see. Dr. Snuggles. I don't know what the hell that is. I'm pretty biased, I guess, because I don't know all the fuzzy, cute little kitty ones. I don't know the cute little kitty ones or some of the girl ones. I only know a couple of the girl ones, but that's what the hell is a Dr. Snuggles? And Donald Duck Presents, I'm not sure what the hell that is. Because Disney was for like rich kids in a way. You would only watch on the Disney Channel, you wouldn't really you could never just watch like Mickey Mouse cartoons on the weekends. I mean, honestly, the stuff that you see that is Disney literally was on the weekend, or the week. It was during the week. It wasn't the weekend cartoon shows. But some of them did play it, but I don't know where Donald Duck Presents comes from. I'm gonna say it's okay because it's Donald Duck. Donkey Kong Jr., the cartoon I don't remember well at all. It's one of them ones I didn't watch a lot. I do remember it though. Didn't watch it a lot or at all. Either way, it's okay, I guess. Donkey Kong, I do remember it for a short minute there. Um, I don't know if I really got into it, but I think this was around the time Pac-Man was on. That was the early 80s, you guys. So that was like, oh man, 83, something like that. So, okay, it's okay. I don't really remember that one. Dragon's Lair, never really watched it unless you played the video game. So I didn't even know there was a cartoon called Dragon's Lair, even though you see it when you're playing the video game. Obviously the arcade game or whatever. But no, nothing like that. this one called, is it Drake? Drake Pooch? Drake Pooch? I have no idea what that is. DuckTales, woo woo. It's one of the best of the best. Even though DuckTales was a weekly cartoon show, like I said, maybe on the East Coast it was more of a weekend cartoon show, but I'm putting it up there the best of the best because it was one of the best of the best cartoons back in the day. It was a 90s show though, it wasn't no 80s show. DuckTales came out like in 90 or 91, so that's not a real accurate. Dukes of Hazzard now, that's an 80s show. Dukes of Hazzard was all over the place in the 80s. Never watched cartoon. Never watched it, but I know Dukes of Hazzard. Now the one I did watch here, which is kind of funny because okay, Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. That's what I know the most. People always when I start talking or they say some crap around here, these always you play Dungeons and Dragons. Never ever played Dungeons and Dragons in my life, you know. But I remember the cartoon and then the new movie they came out with a couple years ago. Loved it, loved it. I had the one before with the Marlon Wayans. I liked it, and some girl took it from me or whatever because she was in love with Marlon Wayans or whatever. Stole it from me, I should say. But this cartoon, I used to watch a lot. And then if you watch the new Dungeons and Dragons that just came out, there's a scene where they're supposed to be in that area. There's like a maze. Those guys in the background that's going to the maze are the characters from this cartoon. And I'm like, oh my god, so it was a cameo that people, unless you grew up in the 80s, you have no idea who those kids are in the movie that's walking around in the background. It's these kids from this Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. So awesome. It's so cool that they did that. And I liked it. You know, I really loved this cartoon when I was a kid. But I'm going to say it was great. It was a great cartoon. That Dungeons and Dragons. Ewoks, I remember, of course. Ewoks was good. Uh, Fantastic Max was an interesting little cartoon. I still don't understand if Fantastic Max was actually human or alien. I know half of it was his fantasy, like he had like the robot as a toy and some crap as a toy, but somehow he's in outer space and the robot's real and stuff, and he had this. I don't know what the hell Fantastic Max was thinking about. He's either a kid or an alien kid. He's one of the two. To me, other people probably explain this cartoon better than me. Because I used to watch it, I'd be like, did he just become an alien kid? Or is he really a human kid? And I could never figure it out. So, I'm going to say it was great. I used to watch it. So Flintstones was another thing that was big in the 80s. The Flintstone kids, the Flintstones and friends, Flintstones yada yada. And so this Flintstones comedy show, I'm gonna say, is good. Okay, Flintstones Funhouse. I think that was like when they had the teams or whatever. I think it was like Team Yogi or something. I cannot remember. I'm just putting in. It's good. And Flintstone Kids was also good. That's like I said. That's the same thing with Papa Scooby Doo, where they'd be like, oh, a little take the main characters and make them kids, type of thing. Now that I think about it, I'll put an okay section with the pup named Scooby Doo. Actually, I'll put it right by it because why not? So now the tier list is growing quite big. Um, the Fonz. So Happy Days had a cartoon. Putting it right next to Dukes of Hazzard. I don't remember watching Happy Days cartoon. Do remember watching Happy Days because my mom was obsessed with that freaking show. I used to, for the longest time, I thought the time when Happy Days used to come on, I used to think that theme song always came on at that time. Like no matter what, I didn't even realize it was. I didn't even realize that it was part of a show. I was learning as a kid how TV and everything worked, like everybody else. But I thought every time around that time when Happy Days would come on, I'd be like, I would hear that song 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, right? I thought that was a normal thing, and when it stopped, I was like, what's missing? Like, what's missing? That's not happening. It used to trip me out. I didn't know shows ended like that. I started learning how shows get canceled and all that, but it ended around that time. But I was like, why is it not going 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock? Theme song. I really thought it was a thing that's supposed to happen at that time. So stupid. Anyway, Foo Fur. I don't know what Foo Fur is. I don't know what Foo Fur is. I don't know what this Five Force actually. Is that the one with the alien warrior dude that got trapped on that planet with the ship? It might be. I just can't remember. Hmm. I feel like it. Nah. I don't know. I don't know. I've never seen it. I think it might be this. There's this cartoon with this dude, and he was in this. He would have like this blue suit. They had this ship, and it kind of looked like a boat thing. I can't remember what the hell the name of that show was, but it was kind of cool. It was like they fighting on this planet, and they were trying to escape from the planet. It's some, I don't know. That might be it. Force Five might be the cartoon I'm talking about. But anyway, Fraggle Rock was a whole thing that came on HBO. It was only a weird puppet show that came on HBO on its own time zone. And I don't know if they're trying to say it's a cartoon here, but I don't really remember the cartoon. Well, kinda. Now that I think about it, it kinda was a Fraggle Rock cartoon. Anyway, I know what Fraggle Rock is because Fraggle Rock was great at the time. Frogger, once again, another 80s video game from Atari. Uh, I remember it, so I'll put it in okay, but I don't remember how it was. See, now they got another one called Force. Makes me think that Force 5 and Force are the same show. Or one of them is a show with the guy that's in the blue suit that got trapped with the planet with the boat. It looks like a boat, but it's a ship, and it's got these dudes with the guns, and it's like a turbine thing. I don't know how to explain it to you guys. I'm telling you, there was some action cartoons back in the day that I swear to God, if you took one of those series and tried to live action that, you would think it was a normal action movie because of how many stuff they had going on and with these action cartoons, and they would literally break it down to where it's like you were watching a real uh, show, but for kids. But it would just be all animated, you know. And it's like if they didn't animate, what I'm saying, Fonzie show, Dukes of Hazard, those were live action shows. So think about it. We had a lot of shows like that back in the day. Super Ted is this teddy bear superhero. Um, no, this one was probably kitty for kitties and stuff, but I watched it. Okay, I don't even remember how old I was. It's a good kid show. They should bring it back. The teddy bear is a superhero, and it doesn't make sense. I mean, you could say something with Teddy Ruxpin or somebody, but he was a literal teddy bear that became a superhero. So they call him Super Ted. You know. So we're at this force thing again. I'm so tripping on the force. It's like it's either this one or that one. One of them is that thing with the dude on the planet, and they had these. I'm telling you, this big ship would look like kind of like a boat, and there's these weapons that were like they had like blaster type of things, kind of like the ones on I don't know what you call those in Return of the Jedi, where they're riding that thing and they got the blaster things out there like that, right? But it wouldn't be on a damn rocket ship thing. It would be on a freaking gun. I don't know which one it is. I'm gonna say I don't know, but I swear that intro looks familiar. I have no idea. Um, okay, I don't know none of those. The first one, the next one, I don't know. I don't know what this is. Can't barely see it. Don't know what it is. This one, it kind of looks like Alice in Wonderland. Well, I can't tell what it is. So it's gone. Okay, it's gone. Don't know. No idea what happened. I don't know. Oh shit. Um, Galtor, or whatever. I have no idea what this is. I don't know what that is. Guardsville Kids. This is one where I think it was on the East Coast because I've never seen a cartoon of Guardsville Kids. Only the live action movie. So want to put it up here, but I've literally never watched a cartoon of the Garbage Pail Kids. So, and I guess because I loved the Garbage Pail Kids back then. So I'd have to say, oh, put it up here somewhere, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna say I never seen it. Yeah, let's just be honest. Garfield and Friends. Um, Garfield to me, people, is dry humor. It's only funny to a certain point. Then it's boring. It is really boring. Like when you watch the movie, like when the movie came out, the first one with Bill Murray as Garfield, I thought it was gonna be funny. Yo, that movie's so boring. Animation's kind of cool, but it's so freaking boring. So I don't know. I like the fact that the only reason why I'm putting it in okay, or yeah, I put it in okay, and the reason why is because I did watch it, and it wasn't because of Garfield, because his friends, his farm friends, they had a duck with a inner tube thing around him, or what do you call that flotation device, and had his face on him too, and so the thing would move, and he had facial reactions. It was kind of funny. And had another, I don't know if he was a chicken or a duck, but he was stuck in an egg, and they called him Sheldon. I thought that was funny. There's a lot of other characters in that one that was funny. The Gary Coleman Show, never seen it. Never seen an animated series called The Gary Coleman Show, but Gary Coleman was a popular person in the 80s. Get Along Gang, I remember that, and it was a good show. Uh, Once again, Get Along Gang goes underneath the fuzzy, cute cartoons for kids that were, little and that were getting bigger. That's what the Get Along Gang was. And they were, forest animals. So now we're at the stuff that's actually pretty cool. Some of this is all pretty cool. So the Ghostbusters. Now this isn't the real Ghostbusters, so there's a difference. So there's people don't really get. So there's two Ghostbusters. Originally in the 70s, there was a show called the Ghostbusters, and it had these characters that you see in this Ghostbusters. We have one that's a monkey and two guys, and they go solve, whatever the ghost hunting thing is. And then, of course, there's an alien girl in that one too that helps catch ghosts. Uh, but then you have the ones we all know, Ray, Stan, Egon, Winston, you know, which is the real Ghostbusters. So they're all the same. They're two different shows, but the same. But what was cool about this Ghostbusters and this Saturday morning cartoon was they had this badass bass toy, and I always wanted the toy. And then the car, the wheels would go up, because the car somehow would, like, the wheels would stay attached, and it would go up, and it do all this. It was just this type toy back then. Okay, that's the crap they used to brainwash us 80s and 70s and whatever kids would. There's these damn commercials, and you'd be like, "Oh my God, I want to buy that! I gotta get this toy." So then you start watching the cartoon because you're like, "Oh my God, it does look like it does in the cartoon." So this Ghostbusters was great. G.I. Joe's, and then there was the other G.I. Joe's, because like originally Cobra Commander got taken down, and then they brought this other Cobra Commander, which brought Sergeant Slaughter and all these other guys into it. So either way, both G.I. Joes is the best of the best. Okay, Gilligan's Island. This can go down here. See how I've never seen a lot of the live action shows on cartoons. Gilligan's Island is played all the time. Like Gilligan's Island was all the time. Gary Coleman was everywhere. Dukes of Hazzard was on all the time. Especially Yeehaw, which y'all probably don't even know, but Yeehaw used to be on all the time. And just these 80 shows, you know, Fonzie, Happy Days. So anyway, what the hell? Goldie Gold and Action Jack. I have no idea what the hell that is. Good morning, Mickey. Good morning, Mickey. I'm trying to remember what it is. I have no idea. Yeah, most of my it's still going. The list is still going, and so far I've never seen the list is huger than all the other ones. I can't barely see this one. It looks like German to me. Hmm, I don't know. Grimlock or Gargan something. Anyway, I ain't never seen it. This just says Grimm's Fairy Tale Classics. There was something that there's lots of different things that did Grimm's Fairy Tales back then. There was a live action series that every episode would be a new one. Like one would be like uh, Hansel and Gretel, and one would be uh, Red Riding Hood and Princess and the Pea, which is something none of y'all remember or know about. But if they ever decided to make the Princess of the Pea, they'd probably call it something stupid, especially Disney. They like to mess everything up. But it was like there was one show like that. I can't remember uh, who created that series. It might have been PBS, uh, but it was something. And then kind of like Grimm's fairy tales, like every episode's a different fairy tale creature or something. So I'm not sure if it was one of them cartoons like that, but I'm gonna put it in. Once again, never seen it because I don't know. He-Man Masters of the Universe was an awesome cartoon when it came out. Uh, at one point, I thought, okay, He-Man's pretty cool, but then what popped up to replace it? Ninja Turtles. Ninja Turtles was way better. So Garfield here, which is way better. Garfield's way better than freaking. I mean, not Garfield. Heathcliff here is way better than Garfield. Uh, anyway, so Garfield and the Dingbat, never seen it. I mean, God, I keep saying Garfield. Heathcliff. I'm looking dead at it. Heathcliff and the Dingbat. Never seen it. But this is Heathcliff we're talking about here. Heathcliff and Marmaduke. Never seen it. But the Heathcliff show and the Cadillac Cats, I've seen that. And I like Riff Raff. And if you don't know who Riff Raff is, he's the leader of the Cadillac Cats. This show is the best of the best. Okay? Even though I've never seen the other two Heathcliff shows now, I'm telling you the one you want to watch because I don't know this one. And maybe a lot of kids in the 80s probably don't know these two. I mean, Heathcliff and Dingbat, Heathcliff and Marmaduke. I didn't even realize who Marmaduke was until they made that live action version. And I still don't know who the hell Marmaduke is. But freaking Heathcliff, the Cadillac Cats, done deal. I know who that is. Best of the best. They're the best of the best. Okay. Hello Kitty crap. I've never seen it. I know who Hello Kitty is. I never watched it. It wasn't my thing. Girly, fuzzy, cute thing, whatever. This is that Rockin' Wrestling. That's the show I was talking about when I was talking about wrestling, or when I was talking about Bigfoot, the monster truck show. So this one comes up in awesome because it had every wrestler, Hulk Hogan, who just passed. You know, let us pray for Hulk Hogan. Blessings upon Hulk Hogan and every other wrestler that paved the way for these low rate wrestlers now. Blessings upon thee. And now we got the Incredible Hulk. So this one was different. There's like two Incredible Hulk cartoons. There's the one that was kind of 80s, 70s, and that one was based off the TV show. And then there's the one that happened in the 90s. That was, because in the 90s, like, there's a revamp of Marvel cartoons. Spider-Man was one that everyone liked. Spider-Man was a good freaking cartoon back then. And they had a Fab Four cartoon. This is where they got the ideas to make the Marvel Universe as we know it through Disney. It was because of the 90s cartoons of Marvel. You know, it was really good, and they took their time and made it work. And I think they get the inspiration of that from Batman's animated series, where they took time to make Batman and all that really good stories that you would want to watch it again and again. And I think everybody did. Or we wouldn't have Harley Quinn because she was made up only for that cartoon series. But this one was based off the show. It's good. Good Incredible Hulk. The Inhumans is based off a video game for Sega. It's alright. It's okay. Spider Gadget, he's the best of the best. Inspector Gadget's the best of the best. There's nothing to say about Inspector Gadget, except for there's this crap I saw online. There's some kind of dumb fan theory that says Inspector Gadget is Dr. Claw. And I said, that doesn't make any sense. And they added all this theory about it, that you don't see Dr. Claw. You only see his hand, and you only see the cat, but you never see Dr. Claw's hand. And then, like, when you see Inspector Gadget goes to arrest him in the intro, he puts the cuffs on him, but he's not there. It's just you putting the cuffs on a hand. There's some weird crap. It's this weird fan film thing. It had me thinking for a minute, like, wait a minute, like, or, conspiracy, cartoon conspiracy theory thing. And I'm thinking, that's crazy. So, not just the fact that he's a man, android, or robot thing, okay, that Dr. Claw is a split personality of Inspector Gadget. I don't get it. But it kind of would trip me out because that would mean he's mentally ill. It would have to explain why he's so positive and crazy all the time. So I don't know. I don't know. Punky Brewster, I used to watch the cartoons, and I was like, oh, Punky Brewster was a girl cartoon. I mean, not cartoon show. It was a girl show. She got taken in by this guy, had a dog and stuff. Now there's a grown-up version, I think, because she came back as a grown-up. But the cartoon I never watched. This one was that stupid pirate show I remember. Uh, Josie, Wilder Warriors. Anyway, that's the one with the fake pirates, okay? And I can't remember how it's called, but let's not kid ourselves. It was okay. It was an okay show. Gym for girls and stuff. It was a good little cartoon, and that's the only reason why I'm putting it up here this high and great is because even though I talked about it a minute ago, way before I even got to it, makes it great. And only once again the theme song, and because it came on before GI Joe's. And then they made a live action version, which tells me girls really like this. So Jim goes up there. The Jetsons. Okay, the Jetsons, best of the best. I love the Jetsons more than I like the Flintstones. I like the Flintstones a lot, but then when they made it thing and they tied them together, and the Jetsons are actually the descendants of the Flintstones, blow your mind. Okay, the Jetsons cool, but here's the thing: they lied to us in the Jetsons. I don't have a flying car. The sidewalks don't move when I'm walking around. There's no spacely sprockets. It pisses me off. There ain't no spacely sprockets. Okay, it's like being for reals, man. We press buttons and like all this stuff. The Jetsons future is where is that? And Elroy had that belt, and he just hit the thing. And he just the belt make him float. Where's my freaking belt? Even Grandpa Jetson, who could break dance, which means he came from the '80s because he could break dance. Okay, but he had this stupid belt too. But when he put the belt on, he'd be upside down, floating around, while Elroy would be standing upright, just floating around. I didn't get it. I don't get it. Where's my stupid belt? If my sidewalks that walk around, never mind. It's stupid. I did. I love the Jetsons though. Kangaroo, never heard of it. Karate Cats, I heard of. It was a good little show. Karate Kid. Now, Karate Kid, the TV show or the movie, everyone knows now it's Cobra Kai and all this. The cartoon, I remember parts of it. It is one of those cartoons I told you that's kind of like it could be an old action movie. If they took all that stuff back then and put it into a real show and put them two to work, oh man, it would have been. You would never, ever, ever would have that long period without Ralph Macchio playing Daniel. Um, Kid Superpower House. I don't know what the hell that is. So let's go over here. This one I do know. Kid Video. Kid Video represents the '80s, okay? And I can't explain that any better than to tell you he represented the '80s. Kid Video was a cartoon, and I used to call it the Diz Kids. There is some cartoon or something named the Diz Kids, or maybe that was the name of the people in Kid Video. But They were a rock band, and it's kind of like when you watch Captain N and a game master. He's playing the game. He's a real life person. Kid gets sucked into the game, and he's in a cartoon world. Kid Video was the first person to do that. They were before Captain N and Game Master, and they were a rock band. And somehow some portal or some crap opens up, and they're stuck in this cartoon world. But Kid Video was a big thing to me when I was a kid. And it was the to me, Kid Video represented Saturday mornings because it would only come on Saturday, and I would watch the hell out of it. It's like, man, I'm getting nostalgic and happy about even talking about Kid Video. I'm so serious. Kid Video was my show. Uh, and it just goes up here to the best of the best. It represents the 80s. It represents so much stuff, man. And it paved the way for so many cartoons and storylines nowadays. Kid Video's where it's at. Um, this one, the hell is this? Something TV? I have no idea. I don't know what the hell this is. Something fur, kissy fur. What the hell is kissy? It's some girly cartoon. um, okay, yeah. Okay, I remember this one. The Hanna-Barbera cartoon, the koala bear. It was a Kikiwi cow, whatever. It was alright. It was like this stupid koala bear who pretty much sounded like one of them old western dudes because they did voiceovers. It was a great little thing. This koala bear, and I remember it was like a fox or something that hunts him or some crap. No, it was a dingo, some kind of dingo. It was like one of the last. Uh, well, no, Short Tales was one of the last styles of the original Hanna-Barbera animation style. And then Hanna-Barbera's animation style changed because the pup's name Scooby-Doo and stuff like that. Kind of changed the pattern of how they did it. Before they had a certain pattern that everything kind of looked the same. And I know that original style of drawing because I put it in my own original animation style. So that one is the same thing. But now they like Powerpuff Girls is Hanna Barbera, but Hanna Barbera, I can't even say it right now. But you wouldn't think so. So is Samurai Jack. Um, way different animation styles from the 70s to now. So the hell is this crap here? I don't know what this is. It's some girl thing, because it says love or lady, some crap, I don't know. Get her out of here. She's done. I don't know, never seen it. Laverne and Shirley, Soldier Girls, I've never seen it. Laser Tag, I don't know what the hell Laser Tag. I mean, I remember Laser Tag, but it's a cartoon show or something. Laser Tag Academy, never seen it. Little Clown, Happy Town, one of them kitty, little fuzzy, stupid shits. Never seen it. Little Muppet. What the hell? It's a Muppet show I never heard of. Jim Henson, Little Muppet Mysteries or something. I don't know if that's real. That might as well have been Tiny Muppet Babies. Never heard of that one. But because Muppets, I never heard of it. That's weird. I'll put it in never watched because I never watched it, but it feels like I should put it up there like they got the title mixed up. Maybe it was before they turned into the Muppet Babies. It was Little Muppet Mysteries. Weird. And the Little Princess. Nope, she's brainwashing materials. They brainwashed every girl with that one probably. The little wizard, the little ladies, the little women. Okay. I don't remember Little Wizard. I don't remember Little. Well, I know Little Women. This is a book. The Littles. Okay, this is the cartoon that used to piss me off when I was younger, and it used to make me go, "What the hell? Why are we watching this?" And I would get mad because so many people liked The Littles, and I hated it because first off, I don't like rodents, and you made little tiny humans that looked like rodents with tails and big buck teeth, and there was one that always looked like he's gonna fly. It's British cartoon. I can't stand it though. I hated this freaking cartoon. but it's like an '80s representation of a cartoon. The only difference between it and most '80s cartoons, but this one was very popular. But the reason why it's different than other '80s cartoons, every other '80s cartoon had a toy, except for this garbage. Everybody knows it. And God, I hate this cartoon. I want to put it into. I've seen this one, so I can't throw it in. I've never seen. So it's okay, I guess. I hate it though. I hate that freaking cartoon. So I should have put hate. I didn't think about it. I didn't think I would hate any cartoon. Forgot all about the Littles. Um, it's so stupid. I forgot about it. I hate that cartoon though. I didn't think it was in the tier list. Um, Lucky Lou. Don't know what the hell Lucky Lou is. I have no idea. What is this? Waka, Wakron, Wakron, Wakron. Why not just say Unicron, but Wakron? What is that? I don't remember that. I don't remember that at all. And then Mapletown. These are the Rockron or whatever should be a. It looks like it'd be a cool ass kid dude show, uh, boy show or whatever. I just don't remember it. It just blows my mind. Maybe some of the '80s stuff I can't remember. You know, traumatizing stuff you put back in your mind, and maybe it has to do with these traumatizing kid cartoons. Uh, it's traumatized me so bad I can't remember what the hell. I don't know this cartoon. I want to know. I want to remember. I cannot remember it. It looks familiar though. Kind of like Voltron, I guess. Mapletown, they can go away. I don't know what the crap that is. Marvel Action Universe. This is actually the symbol from the '90s version of Marvel Action Universe. Because when I was a kid, they were like Spider-Man with the Iceman and the Flame Girl. That's what was in the '80s. Now, after the '80s, that cartoon disappeared and it turned into this one. Like I said, with the Hulk and Spider-Man and all that. So this is actually a '90s thing, but it was pretty awesome. One of the awesome things. Mask, straight up '80s cartoon, almost complete copy of G.I. Joes. These guys are like um, assassins or something, like spies or something. They had these badass trucks, had trucks with big wheelers with things that would fall apart. You did be a big combine and all kinds of stuff, cool stuff. And then you see lunch boxes. Everyone had a mass lunchbox and stuff. It was man, it's iconic. It's awesome. It was an awesome cartoon. Maxie World looks like a girl cartoon. I don't know what the hell Maxie World is. Meatball spaghetti. Some kind of I don't know what the meatball spaghetti is. Mighty Mouse, a TV show. I remember. It's a good show. Yeah, but here I come to Saturday. That was still good. This looks like a transformer. I don't know. Um, kind of looking around because this tier list is still going. Man, I have no idea. Um, let's say the Mini Monsters. I do remember that one. I'd say it was okay back then. Mr. T. Mr. T was the man. Mr. T was great. Great show. Real great show. Um, Cause I want to say this is Transformers, so I don't want to move it. The Little Rascals. What? Look, Richie Rich, Little Rascals, and whatever the hell this is, Mochi, no, Mochi, I don't know what the hell. I don't think that's the right Richie Rich. So I'll put it over there. Here's that thing again. Oh, I do remember these guys. Okay. I just don't remember Little Rascals being involved with them. But yeah, I do remember these dudes. They were like these little weird, none of these little weird headed creatures. that lived in the woods, and they were kind of like, these ones were kind of like, holy crap, I forgot about these ones. But they're kind of like Smurfs. It was okay. So I guess I have to put this one up there because I do remember. I just don't remember freaking um the little rascals being in there. Where did I just put them? That's where I put them. Okay. Wow, I'm moving stuff around so fast. Okay, yeah, there we go. Right there. Okay. Um, what an hour? I don't know what that is. There's the Muppet Babies. Muppet Babies was epic. Muppet Babies are awesome. So that still brings me back to what the hell is Little Muppet Mysteries? What the hell is that? I think that I really believe that was what the Muppet Babies was supposed to be called before they changed it to the Muppet Babies. Because I've never heard of that. And I was obsessed with Kermit the Frog and especially Gonzo. Gonzo was my favorite character on the Muppets. There goes Little Muppet Mystery. I don't know what that is. Okay, My Little Ponies. I can't tell you. Yeah, I mean, it was on. I never watched it, but I used to hear girls talk about it all the time. The way they was drawn though were way different than they are now. I think the old drawings of the My Little Ponies is way better than the big feet ones they do now. It look kind of stupid, but the animation was pretty good. I've always been obsessed with animation. Um, My Pet Monster. That toy is iconic. They actually make crap that looks like that in real horror movies now. But it was great. My Little Monsters was great. Not awesome, but great. Um, the Mystery City, the Missing Mysterious Cities Gold, or whatever. I don't know. I've never seen that shit before. I haven't even heard of it until now. Blank Girl or Curl. I've never seen that one. But I have seen Johnny Quest. I like Johnny Quest. A lot of people like Johnny Quest. Um, so you have a difference. You have the old '60s version of Johnny Quest. Then you have Johnny Quest is going up here now. It's great. But so this Johnny Quest, the '80s version of Johnny Quest, because really kids in the '80s, their grandparents or their parents watched the original Johnny Quest. And then the '80s version, they brought back Johnny Quest. It's almost the same thing with the Jetsons. The Jetsons was in the '60s, and they came back again in the '80s, and so everyone liked the Jetsons. So those are kind of like generational cartoons, the Jetsons and Johnny Quest, and now we have the Venger brothers that have Johnny Quest as a drug addict and whatever he was in the Venger brothers. But yeah, so it's a generational thing. Johnny Quest should always pop up once every 20 years. Um, Winnie the Pooh cartoon show was pretty good. Um, Damn, what's the tier list move with me? But I got so much stuff up here now. So it's good. Winnie the Pooh was good. Archie was alright. Archie was good. Scooby Doo and Strappy Doo. Like I said, they was everywhere. I'm gonna say it's good. It wasn't great. Scooby Doo Mysteries, everything Scooby Doo. So Scooby Doo Mysteries is good. Um, Yogi Bear show, which was alright. Say Yogi Bear was okay. Pac-Man, I remember this one. Now this was early '80s, y'all. This Pac-Man came so quick on Saturday mornings, and I remember I was like, shit, I was so little. And I tried to tell people about the Pac-Man cartoon, and nobody knew what I was talking about. Because they like come on early in the morning when some kids didn't even want to get out their butts, or get out their beds, get out their butts. And some kids didn't want to get out their beds. It'd be so early in the morning, it'd be like 5 in the morning, and Pac-Man would come on. and people didn't get up because of it, but I liked this show. It was pretty great back then. And then later on, it was Miss Pac-Man, or what is this? Pac-Man Little Rascals. So what is this tying them together thing? I don't remember that. Pageant Brer is okay. Pageant Brer is pretty good. He was pretty good back then for a little show. Um, this little rascal Pac-Man bullcrap. I'm putting it down here because I've never seen them all together before. Um, Panda something. I don't recognize it. Dang, it was kind of a trip because all the stuff I haven't seen took up most of the tier list. Because look how small my best of the best and awesome is, and my great. I thought that would be big, but it's not. And PayPal, never heard of. So at this point, I'm gonna say it's my break time. My if I gotta go do stuff, it's a little stuffy in here. It's really hot outside, so I'm gonna like go to the bathroom, drink something, and come back and finish this tier list. Because yeah, I'm getting somewhere and I'm getting nostalgic and it's blowing my mind. But yeah, we're at a good spot though, because this trips me out how all these are just like wow, I've never seen them. But all this other cool stuff, yes. But yes, either way, you'll know what I like, and then maybe you can go say, oh, well, he's right. These are good cartoons, based off of from the top to whatever. Um, yeah, so that's what's happening. I'm gonna sit back and get something to drink, go to the bathroom, and yada yada yada. So yeah, here we go. Do you be back? We'll be right back. I'm back. I'm back. Had to go bathroom, drink something. And okay, so now where we at? I'm still thinking this is Transformers. That's why it hasn't moved from the bottom of the tier list. And I don't know who the hell that is though. Doesn't look like Primal or Optimus Prime. Anyway, Pee Wee's Playhouse was a big thing in the 80s. He had toys, he had a show, he had cereal, he had all kinds of crap. Everyone had a cereal. Captain Mr. T had a cereal. People had cereal, all kinds of Nintendo cereal. I remember when Nintendo cereal came out, I was like, oh yeah, and all into the Legend of Zelda. It was a thing, man. You can't take those. Would you redo those memories for kids in every generation? So they always have the Saturday morning cartoons. They always have the toys, the cereals, all the crap we had from McDonald's and all that, and Burger King. I wish we could relive all that for every generation's kids, and maybe all the kids would some way seem the same for every generation. But now kids are way wilder and different than they were back then. Um, let's see, Pee Wee's Playhouse, like I said. You know, and they gave him, they did this guy so wrong compared to all the scandals you hear nowadays. But I'm gonna tell you, Pee Wee's Playhouse was a great show back then. Now, Pink Panther, something about that jazz tune that always makes me happy. Hopefully, you guys can hear me over the air conditioner because it's mighty hot in here. I got lights on me and stuff. It's hot, man. I got armpits sweating and shit. Um, So this is Pink Panther's son. So the son of the Pink Panther is actually a movie. So I'm thinking they got the wrong title here. But there was a Pink Panther show, and I love the Pink Panther. So I'll put Pink Panther up in great. Up there. So right here, Pink Panther in great. Pitfall. Didn't know they made a Pitfall cartoon. Love the video game. Never played or watched the. I'm about to say played a cartoon, but never watched a cartoon. So, we'll see it because I've never seen it. Polar Position, what's this? Polar Posting, I've never seen it. Police Academy. Police Academy cartoon was just as good as the TV series, or movie series. Really good cartoon. I used to watch it. For a while it was on weekdays, and it was great cartoon. Funny at the same time. They saw it was great. It was a good show. And Popeye and Son I loved. Uh, Popeye and Son was good. At that time period, some put it in great though, because at that time period, what is this? Things keep popping up over here. Okay, but at that time period, Captain Caveman and Son, Popeye and Son, everyone had a son. Somebody and Son and Lola and Son, you know. So Popeye and Son was actually a pretty good show. The only thing that was messed up is the son was not Sweet Pea. So people be like, what? Popeye? Because we told people that you're watching Popeye and Son, they go Popeye and Sweet Pea. They're like, no, it's Popeye and Son. And they would be like, huh? Because people think Popeye's son is Sweet Pea, but this is supposed to be Popeye's biological son. So it's crazy. The Popples I remember not just because of the cartoon, but because it was a toy. It was like this weird doll, kind of like a teddy bear with tail, long tail, with different colored hair. Every one of them had different hair. Some had like a rainbow hair, some be blue and purple hair, and whatever. Depending on the Popple, they all had their own personal identities. Kind of like, once again, like Smurfs or whatever, or Care Bears. They were more like Care Bears, let's put it that way. But the thing about it was they had a pouch. They would roll into a ball and turn into a pouch. Or they would fall into their pouch. You could fold them into the pouch, and then they would be a big ball. So it'd be like this big stuffed animal ball. That's what the Popples were. And the cartoon was explained everything. So you would watch the cartoon and you'd be like, oh, cool, they could turn into, on the cartoon they would turn into balls by going in their pouch. But the cartoon was cool. So I put it in good, because it was good. I did watch it. The Popples was mostly like I would say more of a girl show, but it was still cool. Uh, it was just cool. It was a cool little cartoon. Mr. Potato Head Kids was stupid. Mr. Potato Head Kids. It was stupid as hell. It goes a little cat. It was like it. Pound Puppies was good. Pound Puppies was really good. It was good because there were dogs that wanted to get out the pound. And I don't know, they just did it pretty good. Didn't have that many episodes. One of the cartoons again that didn't have that many episodes, but very familiar, very memorable. Um, Power Masters. I kind of remember it. I have to see the videos. It'd be crazy if I watched the videos of all this. Then I'll have the section that says never seen. It would probably go all up in other ones because I probably have seen it. Especially like this one, I've probably seen it because it looks so familiar to me. And some of these other ones, but I would say I haven't seen it but it does look really familiar. Almost like a Power Ranger logo. X-Men came out in 90 something, like 93. It wasn't a X-Men show before the 80s or after or during the 80s. It came out after the 80s. So this is incorrect in this tier list. And so whoever did this tier list, because I didn't do this tier list. Usually I do them and y'all either watch them or don't like them, but I didn't do this one at all. I saw it on the tier list thing and I said, okay, that'd be awesome. Talk about Saturday morning cartoons and make me want to watch it. I could talk about it. But the X-Men was so great of a cartoon. I guess it didn't really matter if it was in the 80s or not. It's not going in great. It's going in the best of the best of cartoons. Because it's the best of the best. I would watch the crap out of it. Once again, you could have all this stuff they make with X-Men. They could have made everything come directly off of this cartoon alone. Qbert, it was alright cartoon. It was one I would watch here and there, so it was good. Back then, it was based off a video game if you don't know. And I'll be honest with you, I have no idea what happened to him. He was a good video game character. The Raccoons it was another cartoon that was pretty good. I don't know what happened to it. It was pretty good. The main raccoon had a sweater that was oversized, and his nose, whoever drew him, I've tried to copy that artwork so many times. Oh, it's been so long. But his nose would go out and come down. Their noses would come down. And I always thought that was so weird of an animation style. But I've tried to draw it many times. And to no success, I can't draw accurate to what they did. So, but everything else, like Hanna-Barbera, like Warner Brothers, I could do pretty well. I could do Garfield, the Heat Flip, all this stuff. Mostly. And all I do is I stare at it and then I draw it. And like, if I'm drawing in front of my friend Matt, it would crack you guys up because I'll be sitting there trying to draw like a real artist looking at something, and I'm drawing it, and he'll walk up and he'll take a paper or something like this and go, this is what you do. And he opens it up and he puts my paper and stuff. And no, I'm not tracing nothing. They go away. You're trying to set me back. You're trying to set my skills back to primitive. I'm doing it by eye. This little thing. But this was a good cartoon. The Raccoons was a good cartoon. But like I said, some cartoons like I would watch when I was a kid too, and I would try to draw them while I was watching them on TV. And then when I had VHS tapes of them, I would pause them and try to draw them. But if I watched a cartoon long enough, like all the time, I could draw at least one or two characters exactly like I watched it. And that's how I know I'm getting drawn by eye. But it takes a while sometimes. Rainbow Bright she's a straight up 80s character for girls who disappeared. They could bring Rainbow Bright for girls, or bring her back for girls. I think girls should talk about her, so I think she would be perfect for girls, So I would bring her. I think she was a good cartoon back then for kids, little girls. She needs to come back. Rambo, I watched Rambo. and he was an excellent, or great cartoon. Um, I only watched a couple of them. The real Ghostbusters, though, is a unique cartoon. Even though it was based off the movie, I think it has its role of its own. I think it's one of the best of the best. Because there's certain episodes I remember from the real Ghostbusters cartoon. Like the one where they went to a town and they were like half werewolf, half vampire. That episode stuck out to me. Because the werewolves would bite the vampires and they would try to, the vampires would turn to werewolves and then vice versa. And then the thing that played off just like that is that underworld stuff. When they made those underworld movies, it was just like that episode of Ghostbusters. To me, I think the fan of the real Ghostbusters that made Underworld had to be a fan of the real Ghostbusters cartoon because that episode was stuck out to me more than any other episode of the real Ghostbusters cartoon. And then there was a Slimers in the real Ghostbusters, which was like later on because it became less Ghostbusters and more Slimers thing, made him more of a, you know, I don't know what you call it. There's always a little dorky character that everyone ends up liking because he's funny. Richie Rich and Scooby Doo. I don't know what's this whole variety hour crap, but I'll put it up good, okay? It's in the good section. And this one, the Ring, what? Ring Raider? Oh, Robocop. Robocop was excellent, y'all. But I don't got excellent up here, so he was, let's say he's awesome. Robocop was an awesome TV show. Robotech. This is kind of anime. Um, I don't remember it on Saturday mornings. I do remember it though. I'm gonna say Robotech was good. I don't think it was a Saturday morning cartoon. At least I don't remember it on Saturday mornings. Uh, hell, Robotech didn't come on in the week, man. Okay, whatever. Moving right along. I really don't think it was on the weekend. Uh, robots. I don't know. Didn't watch it. And Ruffsky, Rude Dog. Maybe I've seen it. It looks kind of into the 80s, maybe some 90s stuff, but I don't know it. Um, what's this? Sub on United Night Nighter. Night, oh, never mind. Space Age. I might know that, but I don't think that's the right intro thing for it. Once again, like I did with the Muppet thing, I don't know. So, Scooby Doo. No, Steer Scooby. What? I don't know. It's going up in the good section. Oh, now this one here was supposed to be Scooby Doo's cousin. It was this country dog. And it was actually a good cartoon. It was one of them ones where I'm like, why did Scooby Doo survive and the rest of them didn't? Because this guy was, he was like a country version of Scooby Doo. And it was kind of funny because there was like multiple dogs, not just Scooby Doo. So it was more like a human or two. I think one of them was a sheriff. And so, okay, the dog was Scooby's. You actually see him in a Scooby Doo episode where he hugs Scooby and they do this high five thing, this cool brother dog thing, and whatever. You see him on a couple episodes of Scooby Doo. He's Scooby Doo's cousin, and his owner was a sheriff, I think, and then there was like three other dogs. That was a good cartoon, and it should have lasted a lot longer. And so I put it up here. Actually says Scooby and Scrappy Doo. Yeah. Scooby and Scrappy Doo. Something puppy puppy hour. Scooby Mystery Fun House, which doesn't have a photo, it just talks about it. Put it in okay. This so many Scooby-Doo shows, you guys, and Flintstone shows. There's tons of Flintstone shows, but they don't. Apparently, they're not here because I haven't seen Pebbles and Bam Bam because that was a big show. I don't see Captain Caveman. That was a big show. Caveman and Son. But later on, Scooby-Doo. I mean, not Scooby-Doo. God dang it. Fred Flintstone doesn't work in the gravel pit after a while. He ends up working in as a cop or something, and then what's the name becomes a news reporter. Wilma and Betty become news reporters, and that's when Captain Caveman came about because he was like working in a news studio office. Instead of jumping into phone booths like Superman, he would hang behind cloak, coat curtains or coat hangers or whatever we call these coat stands. You know, you just stand and you put your coat on the stand. He would change his outfit and coat stand. It makes sense because he can't hide behind the coat stand. I don't know. This is so stupid. This one, I don't know what the hell this is. Oh my god. Centurions was that's a good show. Good show. She-Ra. What was the name of that character? There was a character on She-Ra I liked. I can't remember what it was. But the thing that made her cool was she was He-Man's cousin. So wherever I put Masters of the Universe, that's where she was going. I was like, oh, right here. Awesome. She was awesome. Put her right next to He-Man. Sure tells I liked this cartoon a lot. And it was like four animals that probably would never hang out with each other, but babies, versions, and they lived in a tree in a park. And they would jump into cars, like somehow they had these cars that they jumped into, fly off. It's all mystery. There's some kind of park ranger cop guy who would talk to them, which makes no sense. And at the same time, they had these shirts. All shirts had a letter on them, and they would light up and stuff. I forget if they had superpowers or whatever, but I really liked this cartoon, and I really liked it a lot. So it's going up, 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 up. So for me, it was one of the best of the best because I would watch it all the time, and you're probably wondering why I don't have Scooby-Doo up here because Scooby-Doo was on. Like there's cartoons that would be like, how can I explain? Uh, trying to explain how you would say it, overdoing it. But they would overdo Scooby. Look how many Scooby-Doo shows that I named off. Literally, there's like 8. Okay. Ghost of Scooby-Doo, Dutch and Ghost of Scooby-Doo, Real Lions and Great because it was one of my favorites. Still literally one of my favorites. This other one I put down here in Great because it was his cousin and stuff. I used to watch that one. Then the one with Scrappy Doo and stuff I would watch. I mean, there's so many of them, man. Here you go there. Scooby-Doo, Scooby and Scrappy Doo, and Scooby-Doo Mysteries, Puppy and Scooby-Doo. There's so many of them, man. Like at least 8 of them are named off so far. And they're in here all over the place. They're all over the place. Silverhawks. I would watch it. It's one of the cartoons, once again, this comes off of Warrior Strong, and it could actually be a live action show. Again, Rick and Morty's made fun of him recently with I forget the name of the guy that was just like a neighbor, and all of a sudden he's been in space and he's been all this stuff. That guy they used to represent 80s cartoons, if you ever watched Rick and Morty. Because he's one of the silver people, and then he's a hologram guy. That cartoon was big in the 80s and stuff. So it was like, and then his what's this guy's name? It's Hawkman. Is actually a dude from freaking Buck Rogers. But anyway, Silver Hawks. I did watch it. It wasn't that I didn't love it. I liked it. It was okay. I watch it once in a while. I thought it was a rip-off of G.I. Joe in its future or something, but I didn't sweat it. I can't even read the style something. It's nothing. The Smurfs. Everyone likes the Smurfs. I prefer the Snorks, which is the other one I'm pulling up right now. Snorks is an underwater Smurfs, pretty much. And why they disappeared, I have no idea. I have no idea. It was a good little show. They had the snorkels on the head. Um, they had a society. Instead of how the Smurfs only had one girl, Smurfette, and then there would be like a whole bunch of Smurfs. The Snorks were underwater, had almost the same damn society, but underwater. Pretty much like SpongeBob. SpongeBob is a ripoff of the Snorks. Okay, except for Snorks was just their own society of underwater creatures, and yet it was funny, you know. But here's the thing: there's more girl characters and more guy characters. The Smurfs are some weird polygamy thing, and probably inbreeding. Yeah. So, but Snorks, like I said, is great. Better than the Smurfs. Sorry, Smurf lovers. Even though I used to watch the Smurfs a lot. You know, I used to like that phrase from Gargamel. You know, beautiful land like never before. Total destruction from mountain to shore. I used to love that line. I swear I just did Space Age a minute ago. Where did I see Space Age? I swear I just did this one. Space Age, Space Age. I swear I just did Space Age. It's in the, I've never watched it or something. That's okay. I swear I just read that a while ago. Yeah, I know I did. I have no idea. But I swear I've seen it. I know what Space Age is though. Is that guy that I guess you would say who looks like him nowadays. And he's a wannabe freaking Flash Gordon, but he has this weird ass suit. He hangs on this chick on a rocket. Can't remember too much about it though. But I swear I just went through Space Age a minute ago. That's crazy. Now let's have some weird deja vu right now. Cause I've been through a whole bunch of cartoons so far. Man, I swear I've been through. But anyway, I remember this one because the intro cover here. Um, Superstars of Space Ghost, Gloops, Gleeps, and all of them, and Birdman, and I like all that. I dig Space Ghost a lot. If you guys don't know, so great show. Space Keener Keeper. I don't know what that is. They go over here and smart. What the hell? What is Spider-Man? So this is the old '80s Spider-Man. This is what I'm talking about. So you had one Spider-Man who was just Spider-Man, and then you had Spider-Man with Iceman and the Fire Girl, which I think she was Magneto's daughter. Uh, Pulsar or something like that. Anyway, so yeah, both those old '80s Spider-Man. I'm gonna drag them up here. I'm gonna come up there somehow. And this one goes to the great. It's a pretty great show. Spider-Man and both of them are good. Actually, I'm gonna separate it like that. The original one was good. The one with the Iceman and stuff was great. Okay. I don't remember this. I don't remember the Splinter's Zone or whatever this is. Spiral Zone. I don't know who the hell this kid is. Droids. I have no idea what droids are. Space Com. I think that's the one, the military in space. That one was kind of good. That one was kind of like G.I. Joe's. So it goes up here. I do remember that a lot. Not a lot, but I remember it. Star Avengers or whatever. I don't know what this is. Street Food Frog. What the fuck is Street Frog? I don't know that crap. Yeah, American Super Friends and the legendary superpowers. And who hasn't seen that one back in the day? Here's the Super Friends itself, Apache Teeth, and Black Bolt. And Super Mario Brothers Super Show is one of the best. Ah, there's Transformers right here. So what the hell is this? GoBots, dude? It has to be GoBots. So, okay. Anyway, Super Mario Brothers Super Show is one of the best of the best. I used to watch that all the time. I know the theme song by heart. And the best part of it, Legend of Zelda used to come on afterwards. So most people don't know. They think after the Legend of Zelda that was on this show ended, that was the end of it, but it wasn't. If you watch Captain and the Game Master, he comes back. Link and Zelda come back. Like, not just one time, but multiple times. And Link became like a best friend of Captain N, and it was cool. They even changed his suit, made him look older and stuff. Less funny, became more serious Link. Galactic Guardians is still Super Friends, so it still goes in the same area. Super Sunday, I don't know what Super Sunday was. Superman, this wasn't really 80s, this is older, but I'm saying it's good. Well, okay. It was Silver Channel, Families, whatever I don't know what that is. Sylvester Tweety Show, but it's really Sylvester Tweety. Sylvester Tweety, I really hate Sylvester Tweety because Daffy and Speedy shows on here. I was gonna put it in between the other Warner Brothers cartoons. This one, Zorro, Long Ranger, whoever the hell this other guy is, never seen it. And it wasn't a Saturday morning cartoon. It had to be a Saturday morning cartoon for kids a little older or generation before the 80s. Because I don't remember. Teen Wolf was funny for a minute. Teen Wolf was a big thing. And I think the Michael J. Fox version was the one that people remember the most. The other one with a brother, or the other one Duke Fox, boxed as a werewolf. People don't remember that one. Plus, now he's a big celebrity, he's everywhere, and people still don't know he was a Teen Wolf. Ninja Turtles, like I said, was one of my favorite cartoons as a kid. Who didn't love Ninja Turtles? Ninja Turtles is one of the best of the best. Tekka Man, the Knight, Space Knight, whatever, I don't know what this Tekka Man is. This is America, Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown is so retarded. But we'll put him up here somewhere. Okay. Thunder the Barbarian. Whatever. Come on. Thunderbirds. Oh, the puppets. There was a puppet show, the Thunderbirds. Yeah, those actual puppet shows back then were actually pretty cool. Kind of like Team America. That's what they were. It was the animated version of it. So it was actually kind of cool too. So I'm gonna say it was okay. I remember that. Thundercats. Now, Thundercats is a played out cartoon. Okay? I don't care. I know there's big Thundercats fans and shit. And I used to watch Thundercats a lot, like everyone else, because it was one of the most popular cartoon shows. But I don't like Thundercats. I only like the dude Snarf or whatever, little side character Snarf. Everybody else, they named Leo or whatever. They named the animals. They didn't look like cats. They looked like weird humans with mutational flaws. And I just don't like Thundercats. I don't know how to explain it. Like a friend of mine, that's pretty much like a brother because we grew up together like brothers. And he surprised me like years later, like a couple years ago. I went over, he has a DVD, and he goes, I said Thundercats, and he goes, yeah, I got Thundercats. You want it? I said no. I hated that show. He goes, me too. I couldn't figure out why he bought Thundercats because when we was kids, we never talked about it. It would come on and we would completely ignore it and go do other stuff. So that's one of those shows where you go outside, I guess, or you watch it because you're just bored. But I never liked it, and I know there's so many remakes they made now, but I don't know some weird cultural thing where people like Thundercats. This was the same. Tiger Sharks. What the hell was Tiger Sharks? I've never heard that one either. Tom and Jerry had a lot of remake shows. Chuck Jones was, I think, the last person that changed them up before now. Tom and Jerry's good. I would put him in the best of the best because Tom and Jerry is one of the oldest great slapstick comedies. Transformers, hands down, one of the best of the best. Back then. But I prefer Beast Wars over the regular Transformers. These two, I don't know what the hell these are. Okay, I'm done trying to figure out what this is. I thought it was Transformers, it's not. Zarn, I don't know what that is. Um, this one now, Turbo Tech, was a cartoon that messed my head up because I would watch it and think when they advertise this show, this big old intro stuff, and the dude would go like this, and his hands would get weird, his face would go wide and turn into a bit of a car, and I'd be like, what the hell? And it was so weird because it would like mess my mind up thinking, how can a human turn into a car? And it used to trip me out, man. It was a trippy ass cartoon, but for some reason I couldn't stop watching it. I would watch it all the time when I was a kid, but it would trip me out like. It was just the beginning part was like, whoa, what's happening, right? But whoever came up with this was on some serious stuff back then. You know, they said that the 80s was a party area, big party era. So, but I'll say it was a great cartoon, just a trippy ass cartoon. Uh, what is this? What is it? Tron or D-Tron or Warrior or something? I don't know what it is. Whatever it is going over here with Ulysses, I can't even speak right now. Voltron went all the way up as one of the best. And the cool part is, when Voltron came out, I watched it. Everyone loved it. It was so big. I think it's like Power Rangers was so big because when Power Rangers came out, it looked like Voltron. I'm telling you. And the cool part is now it's been so long, I can barely tell you anything about Voltron. It's been so long. I know there's probably someone that's a big fan and they watched it, they know about it. I still can't remember. I remember it was like every robot was like a tiger robot or something. So different, but man, that brings back memories. Um, Wildfire, I don't know what the hell Wildfire is. Wolfjack is the radio station guy. Um, but I didn't watch it. Didn't watch this either. So that leaves us with 3 cartoons. Woody Woodpecker. The old Woody Woodpecker has this timing that's fast and it's funny and hilarious. It's Tex Avery style animation comedy where people go they yell and be some crazy shit happening. And then this Woody Woodpecker style, he's a lot smaller, his feet are bigger for some reason, and it's a big pause, but he has like a family thing going on there, whatever it is. But I do like it. I did watch it. But it was like more of a, let's bring him to society, make him have his own house, get a newspaper, and change his voice so it sounds annoying as hell, and not like Bugs Bunny. But you know who do sound like Bugs Bunny? Heathcliff. Check it out. Watch Heathcliff, he sounds just like Bugs Bunny because he was done by Mel Blanc. The Wuzzles is actually another, I would say the Wuzzles look like the Poppos. cartoon. The characters in there, they're like a mix between plants and animals and some things. It was done by Disney, but Disney has forgotten this cartoon. Like literally forgot all about this cartoon. That one did come on the weekends, and it did have a toy line of these big stuffed animals. Girls would have them, and girls would have all the cool stuffed animals. I'm not saying all their toys was cool, but the Wuzzles ones were cool, and so was the Paco ones. And then there was I don't know, the rest of them, the girls' toys sucked. You know, the Care Bears were everywhere. People had those. And yeah, I remember that about the Wuzzles. But yeah, Disney does not remember this cartoon, and they created it, and it was such a good cartoon. So yeah, it's pretty good. That's where it goes. It's good. And the last one, and this one is Yogi Bear. This is like Yogi Bear had this thing, and it was like a around the world in 80 days type of thing with Yogi Bear. And everyone had a team. Yogi Bear, Snappy Buzz, Huckleberry Hounds, and Great Babe, and all those guys. And they went around the world, and it was on for a while. And they went around in a Goose Goose, I think it was, the same plane that Baloo and them fly in Tailspin. Same damn plane. And I think that's what Tailspin stole it from Yogi Bear. And this is that cartoon. So, and they had everybody in there, like I said, had Huckleberry Hound, all these people. It goes in the great section, because it was a great cartoon. It's epic, and it will never be done again. It was an 80s cartoon. So here's everything. So pretty much just blocked off the bottom area, and it just goes from best, awesome, great, and good, and okay. Great section is all the ones that I've watched the most, recommend, and love. Alvin and the Chipmunks back then, the way they were drawn, the song, the animation's perfect. Perfect show. Alvin and the Chipmunks was a bang. Captain and the Game Master, can't replace it. Great. Best of the best. Count Duckula, best. Dennis the Menace, Denver Last Dinosaur, Dino Riders, Dino Saucers, all great shows. But if you want the funniest dinosaur show would be Denver the Last Dinosaur, as were Dino Saucers and Dino Riders are more serious. I say Dino Riders is more serious between all three because there's no humor at all. This guy's he's riding dinosaurs. It's like another planet. In some ways, I wish they would have ended that cartoon. They kind of ended it on like something where it was like a cliffhanger type of thing. But that cartoon, what I thought was going on was he went to Earth before humans and dinosaurs were even there and brought the dinosaurs and was riding them. At least that's the way I remember it. Anyway, and DuckTales and G.I. Joe and Heathcliff, all that. These are all the best of the best. Awesome is like really here. I could actually put some stuff up from down here and move it to awesome, but that's where the awesome level is. And great has everything. That's good. Beetlejuice, Camp Candy, all these shows. So what I'm gonna say is this: remember the tier list. Remember this tier list. Write it down. Take a screenshot. I'm gonna quit moving so you can take a screenshot. You know, don't just ignore this last bottom part because I've never seen nothing on this part. And yeah, man, go watch them, go find them, go look for them, and tell me am I right based off of my tier list. Then keep it there for a little bit more. Maybe go like this because you guys off that took a screenshot, and that way you guys know that I'm right. The ones that are good, the ones that are great, the ones whatever, and check it out. But honestly, if you watch just the best of the best of the awesome area alone, and then you watch like Scooby-Doo and stuff, you'll see what I'm saying. Like, why are they the ones that everyone kept from the 80s? Because it was so popular. It was like brainwash everywhere. You know, it was like, I don't know. But yeah, it's the best. So that ends this Thursday's tier list We got through it, and I thought I'd be done a couple hours from now. I actually went through it pretty fast. I didn't think I would. Um, but yeah, these are the best of the best, and the great, awesomes, and all that of Saturday morning cartoons. Legacy that's gone with everything else that was really joyful back then. That actually a time period where they actually cared about kids instead of just trying to make them into little soldiers and business workers that will work labor jobs and probably will never be happy and put people in college where they have a lot of debt. And that's our life. So, with that being said, this has been SLK Planet breaking down another whole freaking tier list. Peace be with y'all, okay? And I enjoy every last one of you guys that watch my things and enjoy my stuff. And we keep doing them, we keep watching them, we keep making them. And yeah, I just appreciate all of you guys. And hope you guys will actually come to the podcast and stuff, or even come to Twitch and watch me do this every Thursday. Peace be with you guys. And God bless you all.